1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sounds like you're doing like touching your toe exercises or something.
Click.
Well, he
Click.
has been trying to lose weight.
Click.
Maybe he is.
Are you saying that I can't touch my toes? Or like, I wasn't able to touch my toes before?
I don't know. How would I know? I've never seen you from I've only ever seen you from the shoulders up.
That's very true. For all you know, I could have no legs.
Exactly. We don't know.
Which would
Like
make
Larry King on an auger or something.
Oh, well, this... What the hell? Splendid isolation.
Can I very quickly get a pause here, because I've got the Cardiff thing just firing and I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Give me that railroad.
The railroads as far as the eye can see. Yeah, there we go. That's how you fix your economy. Tax the low man on the totem pole. When did we Switzerland? Just now.
Okay,
We
I'm
don't
done.
need to invest into the. We don't need Prussian Navy investment.
I got a sexy new flag.
Are you not? Wait, what happened?
Sexy new flag is sexy.
Wait, wait, what?
I think you broke Ben.
What do you?
What are you trying?
Oh, he's Kingdom. He's Kingdom of Spain.
Oh, okay. I forgot that you're Spain.
Yeah, he had the other like nationalist looking flag, and now he's got that one.
Second there, he thought he taxed the rich. No, I taxed the poor.
Oh, I didn't do my intro. Yeah, this is a multiplayer game. It's not gonna have intros and outros on my channel. Yeah. There you go.
Why do you bother? I just.
Because I like to keep my. I like everyone to know what's going on my channel. Everybody's got to be included.
Well, you know, yeah.
All right.
And our tax policy is gonna be fuck the poor, of course.
Well, I mean, it's Victoria too. Isn't that how you play the game?
Well, before I was kind
one
of
the
taxing a little
strategies.
bit equally, so I mean, here I am now.
Sad that I had that my booze factory. Hey, I have another booze factory. That'll work.
Yay! Woo! Booze! Woo!
In Mittenland.
Yay,
Mittenland.
booze!
Alcohol as far as the eye can see. What do we make? What do we RGO here?
Eindhoven,
Cows?
which is in Dutch
Mountain
Zealand.
cows? Some coal. Some fruit.
Some coal.
Some grain. A little bit of wood. What is that? Yellow? It's a pump. It's my friendo. Neuchâtel. That's what they're called.
I don't think that's what they call it.
I think we should pronounce everything that we've seen for the first time.
How does it pronounce that?
Yeah, Bob.
Would be Neuchtal, I believe, is how you'd say it.
Oh, it's the same thing. It's just Germanized.
You just gotta give it a little.
No,
you gotta put a
you
little.
had the hard
into it.
ch in there though,
I'm American.
which is well, this is my original point with it was just saying I was trying to help. Trying to help, but
Well,
no.
stop,
it's
damn
not
it!
allowed.
My chat says.
Oh right, I'm in a war.
Neuchâtel? Neuchâtel. This is what my chat says.
Neuchtal.
That hurts.
He started.
That's like somebody going up and like, oh yeah, no, this rifle, it's a Mosin Nagant.
Oh, I've heard that. Roach, I have heard that. You know, it always hurts. I remember this hurting me like 4 or 5 years ago when it happened, but a bunch of the big strategy YouTubers were playing a multiplayer EU4 game when, whatever the one, Cradle of, no, not Cradle, so one of the older ones that kind of like redid the natives and stuff like that. Not El Dorado before that.
Why do you want me to go attack the Swiss? What did they do?
What?
I don't share a border with them.
What? I'm the most neutral country in the world!
Why would I want to go? I mean, I know I said challenge accepted with the whole Alp thing earlier, but I didn't like mean it at that time. Why? Just why?
Well,
Why?
End to that story. All of the Paradox players that were playing the New World kept incorrectly pronouncing the name of the Native American tribe that's from where I'm from in New York, with a French pronunciation, and it was hurting my brain.
Because the Swiss are neutral. Well, I mean, the Swiss are a secondary power, so I could influence them and be like, hey, actually, I should make them on my side.
That's almost as bad as well. Probably for it's for you, but it's probably almost as bad as whenever somebody's like playing, or was it when somebody's like has to say Illinois, but they decide to pronounce the S.
Illinois.
Yeah, they use the S for no reason. Stop, please.
Can you not? It hurts my brain.
I've literally already sent you this.
Yeah, and I hit accepted. Nothing happened.
Well, there.
Okay, something's not right.
What?
Because are we allies?
Oh, do you have a good opinion of me, or vice versa?
Like I got sight on your country for a second, and then it went away.
Maybe our relations are too low. Yeah, we're negative 55 relations. That's a problem. We can't be friends right now. Maybe I do need to dropkick the Swiss.
I'm not sure why.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Why?
Wow.
Me? What did I
You
do?
chocolate eating, watchmaking fuck.
But I make really good watches.
Aha.
That's what they're known for: watches and Nazi gold.
Hey, at this point it's just called gold.
If it's still got a swastika, it's Nazi gold.
Hey, Liechtenstein is a thing.
Yeah.
Suck it down, Denmark. Blah, 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 blah,
It's
blah,
so
blah, blah, blah.
little.
Oh, I probably shouldn't have accepted them as a ally.
Liechtenstein
Who are you again? You're the Netherlands? You want to fight?
Yeah.
I'll fight you.
I'm good.
Long beard. I changed over to Spain because sitting around in Japan was boring, probably for people to watch, and boring for me certainly to play in a multiplayer. It's great single player. Like,
Well, hey,
might
you know,
stream
you
it,
could actually just put a black screen up and go, "Hey, this is the Ben, Bob, and Roach podcast featuring Utari."
but- Yeah.
I'm a despicable neutral. Well, being a despicable real person didn't work out
Ooh,
well for me.
those are some good CBs. So Pertwee has heard that the Swiss like Star Trek Discovery, and they've also said that Jonathan Archer is a better captain than Cisco. These are good reasons for war.
But Bob, have you?
No, now here's
heard
the real
that
question,
Jean-Luc-
Bob.
No. Hey, Bob, have you heard that Jean-Luc Picard is going to be Patrick Stewart again?
You want to try that sentence?
I think you mixed those up.
They're the same person.
You want to try that again?
You understand the concept. I'm trying to distract you, Bob, with something happy.
Well, I wasn't. I saw the headline. I saw the article headline, and then I was immediately like let down because Alex Kurtzman name also came up.
I was hoping you didn't read that part.
You're just making me more angry.
If they
It's backfiring.
if they screw up Jean-Luc Picard, I don't know what's gonna happen, but somebody's gonna get burned. Like
did you see
actually,
the
like somebody's
trailer?
gonna get tossed on gasoline's gonna be tossed on them. It's gonna catch on
Did you
fire.
see the trailer for the new season of Star Trek Discovery?
I unfortunately have. Yeah, I have.
Did it come off to you like it was trying to like be it seems like they were trying to pull influence from the Orville, which is satire of Star Trek?
Which is also better than Discovery in a lot of ways.
It is better
like-
than Discovery.
like
I'm
all
not
the
sure how they
bad
do that with
comedy?
that trailer.
All the bad comedy?
Well, see, that's the thing, though, is that it's only if that is the case, they're only parodying the trailer for the Orville. Because yeah, the Orville has some comedy in it, but it's like secondary to the actual show in a lot of ways. Like it's not
Wait, Twitch baby. Thanks, Caro Boone.
like
I'm not sure. Like that's not going to work. It's really not going to work.
Well,
I mean, there's
Star
already
Trek
there's a
Discovery didn't
long
work.
there's a long history of the first season of Star Trek series to really just not be that good or kind of like that's just where it's at with a lot of that,
Well, but you're not
and
wrong.
finding its feet. And I really don't want to give Discovery the benefit of the doubt on this because the first season was just like it's
horrible,
the
Bob.
impression
It was
impression
horrible.
that I know I wrote a whole series of articles on why it was
I
bad.
read them.
Same here.
It seemed to me like there was a lot of schizophrenia about what Discovery was trying to do, and a lot of conflict with it. That in its story, like there's so much story being thrown at you in the first season that you could have filled a whole 7-season run of Star Trek with it. Well, for what was going on, it was nuts.
I only watched
as well as
in
order to move a lot of that along, you know, it required a lot of Mary Sue sort of activity going on with a lot of the characters, you know, especially the protagonist,
which is a terribly unlikable character.
I was raised by Vulcans and had my entire emotions purged from me. Let me make an emotional decision in the first episode.
Now, how about this? I'm going to, in a fit of rage, murder someone with no thought of the repercussions.
Yeah,
But then again,
there's a lot.
You could make
a lot to say.
You could say, "Oh, that's just the fact that Spock's father's really bad at raising Vulcans." Because Spock was also had emotional outbursts a couple of times. That could be what we draw from that.
Well, yeah, especially because he violently beat someone's face in the new Star Trek.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect out of season 2.
And technically, this series takes place in the new Star Trek timeline, or maybe not. They don't really want to say.
Wait, does it? What?
No. This series takes place in the quote unquote Prime universe.
I don't believe them.
I don't know.
Well, I don't believe them either when they say that, just given a lot of the things that are going on.
You're a liar!
I personally will not accept the idea that it is, in fact, it's the Prime timeline. It's like it's its own little timeline. That's fine. Go ahead and do what you want to do.
Or maybe an alternate universe. Maybe instead of being just the Prime and a mirror universe, maybe it's a multiverse, and this is one of the side universes.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some stuff going on apparently in the second season where the Enterprise is commanded by Pike, which is like before Kirk. So if you know your Star Trek, you'll know that Captain Kirk,
the pilot,
pilot episode.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's Pike in command here, which makes sense chronologically in the timeline with what's going on.
Now here's what I wonder though: are they going to remember the fact that when Captain Pike was commanding the Enterprise, he had a female first officer, or are they going to conveniently forget that?
Well, supposedly the number one is there somewhere because it was mentioned on Twitter.
Number one, who had no name, I don't believe in the first. Did she have a name in that episode?
I don't remember. But I can't help but think that we are seeing the Enterprise and Pike just to stir up like Trek nerd fandom.
Yeah, no, it's just that's what it is. Because remember the final scene. The final scene of the first season, it was a teaser, and it just like you saw the Enterprise, the shitty Enterprise, the shitty version that they had there, and it was just there to get you hyped if you were a Star Trek fan for it's TOS Enterprise. Now they probably could have actually gotten more hype if they had used the original model of the TOS Enterprise instead of redesigning it. Because then I would have gone like, oh, they're going to be faithful to it.
Really, I mean, I wasn't really having heartburn with a ship redesign like that. I mean, it looks a little more updated. It looks actually a little more in line with if you went from Enterprise to TOS. It kind of looks like a little more of the progression of technology with special effects and stuff. Like, I was having a problem with it.
But it doesn't fit with the ships that they had in the first season of Discovery. Is what I'm saying. Like it doesn't.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Exactly. So it makes no. It might make sense as a progression from Enterprise to TOS with that new designed Enterprise, but it doesn't make sense if you also have Discovery in there. So why even redesign it? Like why not just keep it the same and it just go like, oh yeah, it looks really weird, but that's what it was back in the original series, and we're being faithful to it. Instead now it looks like, oh, this doesn't work with our new designs at all. We probably should have thought of that when we started designing the ships in the concept phase of the show. Fuck it. We'll just redesign the original ship. It's like, it doesn't...
Basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I feel like there's an attempt at fan service going on, but I like fan service all you want. As long as the stories make sense, the characters are more real, because that's what makes a lot of good Star Trek good. Is that the characters are kind of like real characters, still within the confines of the universe that they're in, and not just, I can solve all the problems because, one, either the bad guys made stupid decisions, which also happened frequently in fucking Discovery.
Yeah.
Or they are real people solving kind of real like moral problems, and that wasn't really what was happening in Discovery.
Oh, expand the liquor factory. Don't mind if I do.
You know, and I'm familiar with people who are trying to defend Discovery, and a lot of their defense is coming down to, oh, but so inclusive and diversity and stuff. It's just like, yeah, that's great.
That's why I wonder if they're going to
what Star Trek is.
Yeah, it's
Diversity,
all about
I mean,
that. It's been that.
I mean, there's where did I see it? There was a conversation that was playing out that was talking about how, oh, it's so wonderful how this is the first Star Trek series to have such a diverse cast. I'm thinking to myself, it's like, well, if I recall correctly, there was only one straight white male in the entire cast of Star Trek Deep Space Nine as the main character.
That was O'Brien, wasn't it?
It was O'Brien.
Yeah,
and his wife was Japanese.
Yeah, and he had a
daughter
mixed,
who was
part Japanese, part Irish,
potato.
I think, or what was it? Was he Irish?
O'Brien? He's Irish.
Irish. Okay, yeah. Well, that doesn't mean anything in Star Trek.
And then there's also like, oh, the strong female protagonist. I mean, I seem to recall Janeway. You know, like
all her poor decision making skills.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like,
she
Star
was
Trek
still a
has tread
good
over
character, I think.
Like Star Trek has tread over this ground already, and like it's done it very, very well. And
I would go
kind
one
of feeling
step
like
further.
what Discovery is putting forward with this is that I think it's kind of besmirching that legacy a little bit by doing what it's been doing with its very, very short, much shorter seasons. Yeah, with just so much shit going on.
I would go one step further. I'd say Star Trek has done even more than just having like Janeway and like Jadzia Dax and like the Dax in Deep Space Nine. The fact is that like at many points in the series, there were female admirals who had more power than the male captains and commanders.
TNG?
TNG
admiral, I don't remember her name.
Yeah, the Russian named admiral that never spoke with a Russian accent, which is why I don't believe was it? Yeah, I think it was like that. But yeah, she
was the Chev.
Yeah, she was. There was also like a lot. There was. You also had Geordi's mother who captained a ship. In that one episode, we confirmed she was a captain of a ship. I forget.
Beverly's a captain later.
Yeah, Beverly's a cap. Well, in the alternate future, at that point in time. But we're getting into semantics there. Really Star Trek-y semantics. But like it's done a shitload for like women in power. So I don't get that like as a argument saying, oh, but this one's so much inclusive. Doesn't make sense. It's why I'm also wondering if they're going to have the female first officer in the second season of Discovery, because that would show, because I think it would be funny, because that would derail all of the arguments saying, oh, it's so inclusive, when you go out of your way and show that the original series had a female first officer.
I know you love me. Hey, Eliminator. Because I'm so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Janeway was an admiral later.
Second order.
She was. She was an admiral in
Connor.
the alternate timeline future and in the movie. Which movie was it? Was it
Fuck if I know, they all sucked.
Bob, which movie was it?
Doing good, total.
For what? I'm sorry.
When was Janeway an admiral? Which movie was it?
Need to take ibuprofen for
That was Nemesis.
Nemesis. I knew you'd know.
Well, of course it's Bob. Of course he's gonna know about Pacific.
Of course he's gonna know.
Voyager is the best, we all know that.
Oh, we're gonna fight.
Everybody disagrees with that.
We're gonna fight.
Fine, fuck what they agree with.
I like Voyager, but I mean...
You can have
The
that
writing-
opinion if you want to. You're wrong. That's fine. But I'm not going to agree with you, because then we both be wrong.
The writing in Voyager was some of the worst.
Rivaled only to the worst episodes of Enterprise.
Okay, so, honey, I can fight you.
Like, what was that one episode of Enterprise? I think it was Tucker was stranded with somebody. Like,
DS9 is the best because it tackles some of the best moral quandaries of the time.
Yes, it is.
I really do like DS9.
DS9 is great.
I've only seen one episode of DS9.
Well, then your opinion is dumb.
That?
What do you think?
Only see one episode of DS9 and it's dumb.
Of course.
Bob, you can bite my fucking ass.
I'd probably take all of you one by you, 4'11" dwarf.
You hit back against your Star Trek. He's not pulling punches.
It's not my fault he's a pussy.
Fight. Right?
Because DS9 is better? I'm not sure where we're at with this.
I don't know either.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know, but this is funny.
I don't know either.
You just didn't like Tess.
God, I fucking hated Kesh. She was the most annoying character
Who's
ever.
The other one. I didn't like any of the Chakotay episodes.
And Chakotay's a pussy.
The Chakotay episodes were boring, and Kess was
An idiot? I don't know. Kess was an idiot.
Well, Chakotay didn't actually have any cultural identity beyond, like, hey, I'm a Native American guy with the natives, the blood. Yeah.
I don't think this is
That
a
was
good
really it.
alliance. Schleswig-Holstein wants to be friends with the Swiss.
Who are you right now?
They're in my
Swiss.
sphere.
Oh, I thought you were gonna kill them.
Oh, well,
That already
I
happened.
punched Denmark to alliance I'm from Greece. No, thank you.
So so that's the 4th or 5th time it's happened now. Someone's like, "Hey, do you want to be my ally now?" And then they'll like, I got sight on them for a second, and then it just went away.
7 of 19.
I think maybe it's because you're the Swiss, Ben. Do you have a thing that says you can't have alliances? Though it does say you have one alliance right now. Do you have a thing in like your politics that says you can't have alliances
I don't think so.
in your
What would that
decisions? Or next to your, or above your things, next to your politics things, there's like green and red
be?
things up there.
Political neutrality. Interesting.
Yeah, you can't have alliances.
Why do people keep asking me for them then?
No wonder.
Well, it's probably because that is actually a feature of the historical flavor mod.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So the AI doesn't know any better.
So
Yeah.
Bob. Sorry.
Oh my God, Leah, Jesus Christ.
What? What's the question?
She just asked me the question that I've been asked 4,000 times since we
Well, I
started
don't know,
streaming.
'cause I just got here, so answer it.
East Prussia, Russia.
No, don't bend to her will. That's going to encourage the chat.
If you would just answer, you'd be over.
I was trying to. Bob is Prussia, Roach is the Netherlands, and Utari's somewhere.
Spain.
For a second, I thought you were going to say Roach was the devil for like a split second. I don't know.
Literally the devil.
Ad literum.
Ad literally. I'm okay. So it's like Benson Spectre. I'm okay with being neutral because I don't want to get hit again.
That's not how that works.
That's bowing to terrorism, Ben.
I'm just going to introduce you to my sphere is all I'm going to do, and then you're not going to have a choice in the matter.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Yes, give me more education efficiency. I need that.
I have a literacy of 81%.
70.2.
Mine's better. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do, Roach? Attack the most neutral country in the world?
I don't care.
I could, but I don't want to.
Who gives a shit?
You're Switzerland. You don't matter.
Oh, Prussia.
Basically a factory simulator. I have
Let's
no
be
idea
friends.
what I'm doing. Isn't that half?
Yeah,
the
we
game
can do it
is
this
building-
time.
Building factory is half the game, isn't it? We're gonna have a communist coup here.
Okay,
Maybe you'll
well then we'd really have to come kick your ass.
Yeah, maybe you could help me with the whole Limburg situation when that comes up. I could.
They're ally with the UK and Portugal. Yeah, that'd be pretty easy to take care of.
Well, it happens. The UK is the one that mediates when this happens. So.
What, are you talking about Luxembourg?
No, it's Limburg. It's the actual province of Limburg.
Oh, I thought you said Limburg and you meant Luxembourg. I was like, it's the cheese province.
I mean, though I am a little concerned about this alliance with the Kingdom of France.
Hey, pirate.
They offered.
But you didn't say no.
Well, remember, I'm in the Benelux region, which means I'm part French, part German. So
He's in the monitor.
But you could shed your inferior,
You were Tangri, and my country is Tangri now.
Does Leah want to play Vic 2 with us too, or?
No, she doesn't. She played this game for all of 40 minutes and nearly threw her new computer out the window.
I know that.
Why? It's not that complicated.
So, fight
It can feel very
Okay,
esoteric
okay,
initially.
stop arguing with people.
She wants to fight me. She can go on Discord and message me directly.
Oh, look at what I brought, Ben. Where is he?
English does like to borrow words. Yes, it does, Matrix. Yes, it does. Though, have I talked about this yet? Where there was some gal I was my dad hosts this open mic night at a
she thought it was German was a romance language.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And she was just visibly upset when I had to go through like why it's not a romance language.
Why German is not derived from Latin?
Yeah. Oh yeah, German's a Latin language. No, it's not. It's not a Latin language.
No, that's why. That's the whole reason the people that spoke Germanic were called barbarians for a reason. There were just people who weren't Latin or weren't Roman.
So apparently, it's hard to build railroads in the Alps.
Yep.
Well, with that attitude, I mean, not gonna build anything.
Well, I need like higher levels of railroad before I'm allowed to do it, or something like that.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just figured out how regular ones work.